Official welcome to the Get Booked as a Speaker Bootcamp series. What is your calling and how do you share that with the world with your voice? When you are not clear on why you want to do something, the goalpost changes every single day, right? And you never see the progress of what you're doing because you never had goals or intentions set in the first place. Expertise is really like, not only do you know how to do something, but every time you execute on that knowledge, you have predictable results. Many of us recognize that, when it comes to breaking into the speaker circuit, you got to give to receive. And I wholly believe that, right? I do feel like you have to put in the time, put in the reps, and people will be able to engage with you for doing so. There's so many different challenges that you will face breaking into the speaker industry within your respective industry, community, or country, or field. But I always say, especially with the entrepreneurial spirit that I have, that with every challenge, there's always an opportunity. I want to repeat that again. With every challenge that you face when it comes to getting into the speaker circuit, there's always opportunities. Someone sent a comment to the thread that says, Christine, your content is really profound, but so simple. I'm like, yes, it is. Because simplicity scales, complexity kills. You are not the product. As beautiful as you are the package. You are the vessel for energy and power and grace, which means you got to create something of value for people to want to book you, to get you on these stages, get you contracted to speak in front of corporate clients, institutional clients, government clients, you name it. You need that signature talk. The goal is to get you in flow. Stop doing the stupid shit. I just want to put that out there. Stop doing shit you don't like. Just stop, right? Step into your greatness. Do the damn thing, right? There's things that you guys are really good at that you are avoiding because you don't want people to judge you. You don't want people to say anything. You don't want people to say something. Just stop. Put yourself in a position for opportunity. Be yourself. People will resonate with that more. For many of you, I know you have things that, you are going through so much in your life, in your career, but are you taking a step back to take the lessons to move you to the next level of your career, the next breakthrough that you need to get into? What are you learning from those mistakes? And what are you learning from the reinvention that comes from that evolution? If you want to make withdrawals, you got to make deposits. What's their plan? How are you going to find speaking engagements? And I always tell people, you got to make life easier for yourself and have a hot, warm, and cold approach, right? First, start following up with people who already know you. I already said this to you guys already. You are one speaking engagement away from a career breakthrough. Why wait? This is your moment. This is your time. Sometimes you being the exotic, different person in the room makes you automatically the unique opportunity that you needed. Don't let these online gurus fool you thinking that you need to have a lucrative speaker topic in order to get booked. There are problems in every facet of people's lives. So people are going to need your expertise across different ranges. So open your mind to multiple opportunities. Once you start getting into the speaker circuit, once you get the gig, deliver the opportunity and create new opportunities. And I always tell people there's a window of time where everybody in the world wants to meet you. Enjoy. You guys got to give me the opportunity to do what I love to do, which is teach, share vulnerable, powerful, effective insights. Thank you so much for joining me for the 5-day Get
Christine and Tim.
Christine, Sofran, Nitin.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Well, hello. So we are back at it. Let's make sure to pause the music, pause the banners, and get started for this information session. So welcome. I am so excited to be here with all you guys today. Today, we're going to have a really great information session and a brief advisory conversation about this topic. Let me give you guys a 30-second countdown, and then we're going to begin right on the spot, guys. I'm going to see you all after 30 seconds. All right. So now welcome back. So welcome to the Speaker Career Accelerator information session, the ultimate blueprint to help you become a paid and well-known public speaker. So last week I concluded one of my most favorite live sessions of the year, which is the Get Booked to Speak Bootcamp series, which is a 5-day free training program where I'm just sharing with my community strategies, insights, and really my method of managing my speaker career, how I got started, the entire journey from scratch, and really giving you again full transparency on how I get booked to speak so that way you can leverage those strategies for yourself. Now, obviously, after 5 days of intense conversation, resources, and insights and strategies, many of you came back as per usual and said, like, look, this was the best blueprint and overview I've seen on the market. How do I work with you to execute on this? And this is where this conversation comes in as an information session to invite you to work with me beyond those 5 days, to work with me for over the course of 30 days to be able to really implement the strategies that we shared in the bootcamp and get started. Now, if you missed the bootcamp series, not to worry, many of the content is reiterated in the Speaker Accelerator program. But today, I'm going to give a really brief recap in under 5 minutes before I dive into the program and why this is probably the best program opportunity you have, I would say, in the world right now, in terms of getting live access not only to me, but also live access to an influencer who has not only been in the speaker circuit for over a decade, but also someone who's also the founder of an organization that hosts hundreds of events in a year. So I'm able to see both sides of the industry to give you insight that's going to take your career to the next level when it comes to leveraging paid speaking engagement opportunities. So let's dive in. Now, before I dive in, if this is your first time interacting with me, my name is Christine Tim. I'm a 3-time founder, serial entrepreneur who has been in many different, iconic programs around the world. I've been able to be featured in media outlets globally for the work that I do. I'm truly proud of all the global stages I've been able to grace. I've been on the UN, I've been at the World Economic Forum, I've done TED Talks, I've spoken to corporate clients like the State Department, LinkedIn, Google, MasterCard, Columbia University, Dartmouth. Like, there's so many different institutions, close to 100 institutions that I've been able to grace their stages as a keynote speaker to open and close and really have dynamic experiences. And in my experience as a serial entrepreneur, one of the biggest things that accelerated not only my business, but also my brand was public speaking engagements. Public speaking engagement opportunities. And this is the reason why I want to, first off, not only share that expertise with you, but I realize that there's people are very secretive about those strategies. A lot of people who are speaking in the global circuit today, they don't share the content that I've been sharing on the internet about how to get booked to speak. And for me personally, this is a legacy project in the sense that I'm tired of seeing the same people at the events that I'm speaking at, the same lineup on event pages when you Google to go to a conference, a program, or even a corporate institution as a corporate facilitator. It's time that we have more diverse voices. And so I'm here to be a part of that movement that's helping really launch and accelerate the next generation of influential speakers who are going to make an impact on the world through their message and through their voice. And so that's why we are here. So just to dive in, and some of the top takeaways that I have shared publicly to my community, I want to start with the first thing is, let's just dive into some of the challenges that many of you face and try to understand how to break into the speaker market. I get it. I've been there before. I've been exactly where you've been, where you're just like, look, I'm seeing my peers get booked for engagements. I'm seeing my, counterparts are getting opportunities left and right. I know I have more expertise, or I know I have more thunder or something to offer, but I'm not getting the visibility or the opportunities. I don't know where to begin, or I've gotten some opportunities, but I'm not getting paid. I mean, the challenges of becoming a paid speaker on a global circuit is actually a lot. And depending on who I'm speaking to, it depends on where you are in your journey of your career, or where you are in your journey of pursuing this opportunity of becoming a paid public speaker. And so some of the challenges I address head on in the program is, for those of you who have the challenge of not knowing where to start, you have a planning issue. So what you need is a roadmap to help you launch and identify the strategies and needs for you to get into the speaker circuit, right? For those of you like, look, I can't even find any speaking gigs, period. No one's really seeing the work that I do. I mean, I do great work. I'm, industry expert. You have a visibility issue. And really what starts is really creating a public speaker profile that consistently reinforces that value proposition that you could provide at an event or the program. Now, some of you, this is probably a huge one, especially in the world that we're in. Usually I find almost every single person I've dealt with have had at least one speaking engagement in their career, in their life, but usually it was unpaid. They had to either pay out of pocket. And so for some of you, the challenge is I can't find free. I'm finding free gigs, but I'm not getting booked for paid gigs, and it's frustrating. And so you mainly have a positioning issue, right? You need to create the product, which is one signature talk that gets people to say you are worth the compensation of bringing you to stage to share that message and that expertise, right? And the challenges go on from there, right? You start with a positioning issue, then you have an issue like finding consistent gigs, right? Bringing that consistency, so it's like a pipeline issue. And then, of course, really having a way to manage that, especially with life is lifing. People are adults. People have a lot of things on their plate. How do you bring all of that together to make sure that you have a cohesive system that blends in with your actual career or lifestyle? So these are the range of challenges that I have had addressed in not only specifically just the bootcamp, but also specifically in the Career Accelerator program in depth, with examples and demos and strategies, both customized and general, to make sure that you understand what will work, not only generally speaking in terms of hacks and strategies, but also specifically to your own situation. Okay. So with that said, I'll start with some of the top secrets that I want people to understand that I shared last week. That really is the reason why this is a great time for you to jump in on this conversation, on this opportunity, because there's no better time than the present. And one is that there's huge demand. The speaker landscape is changing. A lot of people say it's harder to get booked, but funny enough, organizers are still searching for experience over expertise. They're searching for new comers to come and diversify their event space, their program space, or the initiatives that they're doing in-house and externally. And so while it might be harder in certain spaces, it's actually easier because they're looking for you. And some of you are not able to receive the benefits of that demand because you have not positioned yourself. The second thing is, competition is increasing. More and more people are into the speaker circuit. I feel like almost everyone on LinkedIn has updated their profile with the title speaker on it. But again, I have recommended speakers in my network that I think should be great people that people could turn to for an event. They go on their LinkedIn page, or they go on their website, or go on their, just their profiles, and it's not saying a consistent message. And so despite the economic downturn, competition is fierce for people coming into the market, but not everyone's positioned properly where they can stand out to get those opportunities, right? Third, targeting. I think too many people who come into the market, like I said, more and more people are coming into the speaker circuit, they are limiting their ability to really grow because they're so focused on pitching and talking to event organizers at conferences, businesses, tech events and programs, but not looking at how do I target institutional clients, right? Institutional decision makers who actually have a corporate quarterly budget, whether it's a university program, whether it's a corporate institution, whether it's a government stakeholder, because they have quotas of facilitators, speakers, and experts that come in house to address their audiences, whether it's their employees, their customers, clients, stakeholders. And so targeting is really the next secret that you need to know, is that, you need to really revamp your position, your perspective of targeting. And of course, social media. Out of all the social media profiles, LinkedIn is by far the best resource in engagements. I still get DMs through my LinkedIn profile for speaking engagement, despite my website, despite my pedigree, despite all of my prepared content on the internet. LinkedIn is by far the number one organic. I'm not paying for ads. I'm not trying to expose myself. I'm not posting every single day, but organic traffic, because it is a search engine. And people, like I said, organizers are looking for you. If you position yourself, you can be found. And of course, simplicity. I've seen too many people go about this the wrong way. I did it too, where they speak on any conversation that they could get an opportunity to get on stage on, but you want to be known for one signature message, one signature talk, and learning the power of that simplicity to scale your brand, but also scale your speaker business if you so choose to do so. So these were the 5 main secrets that I always share with people who really want to get into the speaker circuit and be known for their expertise and their thought leadership and get paid for that content leadership, right? And so I want to share with you 5 basic steps. If you wanted the 5 days in 5 minutes, here we go. Step 1, the starting point is not you speaking at 100 different events. I mean, when I used to start in the speaker circuit, you kind of got your foot wet by just, volunteering to speak at multiple events for free. I'm not saying that's not the case anymore. However, at a certain point, you got to stop and really position yourself for paid engagements, right? So the starting point is really positioning. And how do you execute on positioning yourself for really established speaking engagements? It starts with 2 things. One, it starts with you crafting a speaker value statement to introduce yourself properly. Who do you help? What do you help them with? And why do you do it? So I help entrepreneurs to monetize their brands on LinkedIn because it is the most fulfilling and fastest way to make an impact with their business endeavors, right? So that's my speaker value statement. And then you update, in addition to that, this part 2 to that is, once you have that introduction and now the person's intrigued, want to get to know your bio and your background, a lot of you craft your biography as a chronological history, a historical account, but that's not going to captivate audiences or decision makers. You need to update your bio as a story where there's like, we talked about Disney's hero story arc, using that template to be able to give us the journey of your trials and tribulations and why this is the signature message that you want to give to the world today, right? And that is a process that I train people on and coach people through the period of several hours during my program to get them to not only their value statement, but more importantly, their bio story. And that stays with you for life. Because as your story unfolds, you know how to craft the message of sharing that evolution so you could captivate decision makers who want to work with you, especially as a public speaker. So that's the first step. The second step is taking your knowledge and experience and turning it into a product. And some of you have cannibalized yourself in the market by just like speaking on any topic. You'll speak on AI, you'll speak on, blockchain, then you'll start speaking on diaspora, and then you start speaking on Africa, then you start speaking on entrepreneurship, and people are confused. You need to think about the key experiences that you want to be known for and turn it into a product, which is what we call is one signature message, one signature talk that you will be known to for consistent institutional clients. Remember, we're going beyond the scope of events and looking at institutional clients. And I give a screenshot here, and this is something I go over in the program to show proof of concept of how I'm doing this over the past decade and how you can replicate it too, is that my signature talk is Entrepreneurship Without Borders. If you Google that topic, you see pretty much my potential client list, right? You see universities, you see government stakeholders, you see corporate stakeholders who are looking to have those conversation. And then when you Google that topic with my name, you see I come up on CNBC, Forbes, World Bank, Columbia University. You see all the clients that I've dealt with over the past decade that booked me for this engagement. And so the second step is being known for a message within 30 days or less. So that way, when someone Googles or searches for that topic, you are the first person that pops up. And this is what we train people to do on the program, is how to create that signature message. And you could, and show you how to publish it online, literally with no ads or anything, just to really position yourself so you're the go-to person for that topic of conversation with that signature one message. Step 3 is, now we need to find who actually wants your message, right? We're going to identify your ideal target client for your message and get paid to share your talk, right? Because what happens is, a lot of us try to bulldoze and try to talk to everybody because we're trying to get visibility and speak on any stage. You want to be on the right stages, right? And so I share candidly all the different stakeholders that you can reach out to pitch your message, whether it's conferences, associations, academia like university, colleges, government stakeholders, and corporate institutions like the Fortune 500 companies, and also ways for you to create inbound opportunities by creating content of, I always say, if you can't find your stage, create your own stage, right? And how to divide that strategy where you're hosting your own webinars, your own programs, so you get visibility to get booked. And I've done all of the above, by the way. Okay. And so in sharing that, by identifying your target, niche, like what is the one that's going to serve the message that you want to provide, we go down into the nitty gritty where you are able to walk away in this program with literally thousands of people to speak to regarding your talk. Like you have an endless supply of potential clients that could talk to you. Okay. And then step 4 is crafting the proposal, because sometimes we know who we need to talk to, but we don't know what to say, right? And so step 4 is to craft a proposal and close. So this is where I share with you my email scripts, my DM messages, how I comment on decision makers' profiles, because a lot of my decision makers, they're not going to be liking and engaging with my content like that. They're like, C-level suite people who got things to do, which is why I don't post content every day like that, because I don't need to. Just having real social organic conversations on comment threads gets me access to my decision makers. And I showcase how a comment turns into a DM and turns into a call and turns into a close, right? And I even share behind the scenes of screenshots and access to my email, so you can see how conversations, when I get booked for a talk, like how we talk about the onset call, the pricing and everything. So I expose all that to you so you can see the full range from start to finish, from an initial conversation to a close, how that happens, right? And even showing you how to optimize your LinkedIn profile within 30 days or less. So that way your social selling index, if you don't know, I share it in the program, increases. So that way your visibility is top of mind when it comes to people looking for thought leaders like you. And the final step is, once you're able to do something once, can you do it again and again and again? And this is where we talk about pipeline for continuous growth and revenue, where I share with you how to keep your LinkedIn optimized, how to keep adding connections, searching for your decision makers, and making sure that you're constantly on this organic, systematic, simple way of building the right connections over time. So that way you're not just doing outbound, but now you have a natural percentage of inbound, because you've created a magnetic profile, storyline, bio, introduction, and a system for attracting paying clients for your talk. So that is the 5 steps. And this is as simple as it is to execute. This is where I come in as a coach and invite you to come in the Paid Speaker Career Accelerator, so that way I can walk you through not only how to execute on this, but how to actually do this, right, on a regular basis. And this is something that I find that's really, really important, that, some of you have specific challenges or specific industries that you want to tap into, and you need someone like myself to help you walk you through that journey. And I'm so excited to be that person for you, to be able to help you through that process. So the Paid Speaker Career Accelerator program is a 4-week, 30-day program where I'm live with you twice a week to help you execute on getting that bio, getting that signature talk, getting that target list of clients, and reaching out to them. So it's a very practical experience of working with me hand in hand privately in a small group. And we go over this 5 basic steps to get paid to speak. I do not sugarcoat it. I get straight to the point. We talk about how to, position yourself and finding your purpose, how to craft that product, which is your signature talk, how to position yourself on LinkedIn, create the right messaging, how to create that proposal, which is the conversation that you're going to have when you find the right person and message them. This is where the tipping point happens, because I always tell people proposals turns into contracts, right? And so then you're going to have this process, this database that stays with you for life. And for those of you who are entrepreneurs, imagine the visibility where you're getting paid visibility as a speaker, but you're also getting paid visibility as an entrepreneur, because now you're closing contracts for your business, and it becomes a multiplier effect for both your brand, your business, and your career growth acceleration. So it's a really simple, my signature method of 5 steps to get paid to speak that I go over with you, show you, and do it with you. Okay. And so with that said, the basic outcomes of this program is very, very simple, but extremely tangible. First, you're going to be able to craft your own, you're going to walk away with your own signature keynote talk, one talk that's going to get you multiple clients. Like I said, I've been in the circuit for over a decade. I've served over close to 100 different clients, corporate institutions, government institutions, conferences. It was only one talk that got me there. I will help you create yours. Second, I'm going to help you find and outreach the right speaking engagements by finding the right decision makers, so that way you're not continuously pitching the wrong people. And last but not least, create a system to manage that over time, so that way you can even turn this into a 6-figure plus revenue streams annually for your brand. Okay. So I always say that seeing is believing. A lot of times, coaches nowadays, I know we live in a very skeptical ecosystem. I know everyone here, almost everyone I speak to, including myself, you have a coach. You have someone teaching you methods, giving you strategy, giving you direction. And I want to be not only a coach in your career strategy portfolio, but more importantly, the mentor for life, because this is my opportunity to not only work with you for this experience, but also work with you long term, right? And so I want to share with you behind the scenes what this looks like. So I'm going to stop and share that. And if you have any questions, start sharing them on the chat. I would love to answer them. Okay. So this is a back end to the program. Once you book and join the program, okay, you get an official welcome and a calendar invite from the team with all the sessions live, so that way you're able to easily jump in live for the program. Because remember, I'm doing this program live. However, we have a lot of type A personalities, people who are just like, look, I want to dive in. And even before starting the program, you want to go through all the content. We also have the course ready to available for you to scan through and get started on. So you don't even have to wait. So that way, for the first live session, if you want to be able to say, hey, I'm already, in session 5 and I have a specific question, you're ready for it. So if you see here, we got the welcome, how to get started. And this how to get started has everything regarding, how to get yourself positioned, everything for the program to maximize the program. We have the kickoff orientation where I ask you several questions to make sure that I'm customizing the experience for you and the cohort. How to, find your purpose, how to create product implementation, positioning. And then I do a lot of demos. So I teach the strategy, and I make sure I do it. We do audits. I audit your LinkedIn profile. I do your signature talk, and then we do your proposal. So that way you can start reaching out to clients. And then we go a little bit in, and we continue to go from the proposal into outreach and DM. So this is where we get implementation and pipeline. Okay. So with that said, as you dive into, each opportunity, each session, these recordings are available for you to get everything that you need. We got obviously everything that you could possibly need for the entire program. But if you notice as well, this is what you automatically have access to once you sign into the program. However, like I said, it's a live program. So not only do you have access to this database with resources and spreadsheets for life, but you also are going to get calendar invites for live sessions with me to make sure I'm coaching you through the program. Now, I want to share, in addition to this, what's really important to me specifically is that My coaching style is very hands-on, where I like to actually walk you through the experience. I don't like just teaching at you. I want us to do it. So we actually have a Word document that we work on together for me to actually walk you through each session. So we are actually executing, okay, on each session. I'm trying to pull it up right now, right? The visual, so that way you can see how intense it actually gets on the program. I'm going to bring this to the forefront. So I'm going to give you an example right here. Let me know if you guys could see it. So I'm going to stop share here. And then I think I lost you guys. Okay. Yeah, let's share screen here. So here you have screenshots of me going over the Word document, where this is actually how we go. So you actually, if we're working on a bio, we're working on the bio together. Like, we're actually editing and having cross conversations on the bio live on the call. If we're talking about, your signature talk and how the strategy, I'll share with you the strategy about how to craft a signature talk. We're also going to work on your signature talk on the call. And because the cohorts are small, I'm able to make sure that I'm able to engage with every single person to make sure it's happening. So not only are you having your own experience in the program, that's again that individual coaching on the call, but other people are witnessing my strategy with you, so that way you're intaking that strategy for a full 360 view of how to do it yourself in the long run. Okay. And so this is really important to me, that you understand that you are going to walk away also with almost like a 70-page document of actual work and materials, templates, and content from actually doing the workshops live with me during the sessions every single week. So this is how tangible and hands-on we are when it comes to my style of leadership and coaching and mentorship, to make sure that you're doing the program. And last but not least, one thing I love about this program as well, I don't leave people hanging once they're done with the program. I have something called accountability follow-ups. Once you're done with the program, keep in mind this, we schedule your one-on-one strategy session, which is about an hour and 20 minutes, specifically by yourself with me. You and me, we've completed the program. It's kind of like your go-to-market strategy session. And then I follow up at least 2 or 3 times through a month. So let's say we finish the program, in this case in June, I follow up with another group coaching call in July and another one in August. And the reason why I do this is because I know you people. You're going to go back to old habits. You're going to forget what you learned. You're not going to have the accountability, because I know a lot of people struggle with accountability and someone motivating them to stay on target. So if you know I'm going to come check on you in 3 weeks after the program is done, as you blend this into your lifestyle, you are going to stay on it, and you're going to do the outreach, and you're going to do the closes. And so that's one other significant thing that a lot of people don't know, that I'm sharing with all of you today, that we do accountability follow-up sessions to make sure that you are still staying on target even after the program is done. And then of course you have access to this database for life. Every year it gets updated, so you get that updated content. Okay. And so with that said, let me conclude with some final FAQs before I go into Q&A to answer any questions on the call. First and foremost, this opportunity comes about once a year for me to do live. You have to understand, I am a businesswoman. I have 3 companies that I'm running simultaneously. So I don't have the time to be doing this throughout the year. So when I coach a specific small group of pioneers and influencers who are ready to take action. And I have a specific window of time to go live. So the dates for this program is May 15th to mid-June. And the format is virtual for the period of 4 weeks. So 30 days. We go live twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays between 12 to 1 p.m. That is 8 sessions in total. And like I said, my structure for hosting this program consists of me going over the strategy, like actual tangible strategy that I have implemented in my life as a speaker, getting paid to speak, for 20 and 30 minutes. And during the second half, we're doing co-working together, where we pull up the Word document and we're executing on the strategy, right? I got alumni that could tell you and speak to this, that is my format of teaching. And that way, each time we meet, we are taking practical action together. So you don't have to worry that this is a theory, information based. No, you're going to transform your entire profile by the end of this program. We're doing execution. Another big question that I usually get from people, like, who is actually mentoring? Is it my team? Absolutely not. It is me. You are working directly with me. I'm the one that's auditing and reviewing your profile, your LinkedIn, your talk, your bio. I love doing this, guys. I'm doing it, right? Which is why I'm saying like the price and the investment for this is so crazy, because I charge thousands of dollars for sessions with me with corporate clients and with individual high premium clients. So this is a big win. So it's not a team member going over this. I'm the one coaching through all this. All the sessions are recording. And one follow-up that I got, I'm usually dealing with high achievers who sometimes, you might have one or two sessions that you can't make. You can also forward my team your question, and I will record during the live session a response with a demo or response to that. So in addition of getting the recordings, I'm always, I understand about schedule conflicts. I will actually answer your specific question live on the call, so that way you can have it in the recording. So you are constantly on schedule with what you need to learn. Okay. Now, obviously, in addition to the live sessions and the recordings, you have access to spreadsheets for client tracking. You have my email script client files. You have access to templates for outlining your signature chart and speaker profiling. You have everything that you need. Okay. And like I said, due to the small cohort nature of the program, you not only work with tangible outcomes, which is updated bio, updated signature chart, your client list, go-to-market strategy, but you have a community because you're in a cohort of people who are going to be also gracing stages, can recommend you for opportunities, and root for you every step of the way. And like I said, post-program support, I don't leave you hanging after the program is completed. I follow up every single month. And the bonus that each participant also gets a private one-on-one consulting session with me. Paid and full members are able to get 2. Payment plan members get 1. So this is a really significant opportunity for the investment that is required. And as stated before, that investment, you're gonna get it back tenfold, right? Because for lifetime access to not only the content but also live coaching, intimate experiences with me, to be able to coach you through this process for 2.5 is honestly a joke in today's market, right? There are people who are paying upwards 10K, 15, 20K for this type of experience. I'm making it as accessible as possible to those who are in my community to get access to at 2.5. We do have payment plans available for a 3-month plan, and we just announced this morning that we also have a payment plan for 5 months, where it's I believe a $497 charge for the next 5 months as well, right? So you have no excuse to say that you're not able to do this, because you're gonna have to find a mentor, a coach, or a strategist to help you through this process. I want to be that person for you, because you have seen my complete transparency for you to know exactly what strategy I'm going to teach you and what I'm going to help you implement with your brand. And many of you have seen my style of leadership, how hands-on I am, and how committed I am to your progress and development. So that's what I have for all of you today. I'm looking forward to welcoming you to the Paid Speaker Career Accelerator program. As stated before, it's a phenomenal program. It's a very unique opportunity to, again, have more intimate access to me and my ability to coach you through this process. Is tangible. And as shared before, you're walking away with tangible results from this program. So I'm looking forward to welcoming all of you to the program. Someone was asking me, what is the link to be able to access the program? I'm going to put that on the thread. Let me see if there are any questions that I can answer. Please put them on the chat. DM me. I would love to answer those questions now. Okay. So that way I can help you with any pending thoughts that you have in your mind about what to do next, as to why this is a great opportunity. And I said it before, this is something I know is going to be immensely beneficial to you, especially for those of you who have seen so many people in your peer group get these opportunities and you just are overlooked because you're not able to position yourself properly, right? You don't know how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. You don't know how to, reach out to target clients, what to say to them. And I'm here to be that person for you, to show you how to do that specifically for your own brand. Okay. So I look forward to being able to do that for you. So any questions specifically on the chat, I would love to help with that as I pull this up. Any questions? Okay, so I got a question here. Are the recording? Yes. Again, the recordings are available for each session. Even if you're not able to make it live, you still get access to those recordings. So not to worry about that. Okay. Great question. I see another question here. How long is the program? Okay. So I still hear a lot of logistical questions. So 30 days, we go live twice a week. Okay. And it's about 1 hour per session. So it's digestible. Some sessions might be an hour and a half, depending on the intensity of the workshop component experience, where I'm helping you to do that, do what's necessary to execute on what we learned in that day. But other than that, yeah, that is the session information there. Okay. Let's see what are the questions I see here. How does this compare to other programs in the market? So there are 3 significant things that I would say makes this stand out from other programs in the market. And the first and probably the biggest one, many of you are aware that a lot of coaching programs are on demand. Okay. Of course, you have access to on-demand videos for this program, and I share with you the back end for you to know what that looks like. But I'm doing this live. You can't get a live experience coach access to someone like me with my tenure and experience in the market at 2.5 anymore. It's just impossible. And to be honest with you, I am going to change that price point soon enough. But right now, I'm still in a phase where I want to make it as accessible as possible to my community before making that shift. You can't get that. So the first and foremost, it's live. The second thing is, and this is something that I made very, very, very clear as well, is that it's a tangible program where I'm not just teaching you, I am actually working with you hand in hand through the program, right? We're actually working together and doing that, right? So we're actually executing on sessions. We're doing, it's a Word document training. Excuse me. So there is no room for, oh, I just taught you something for an hour, then you got to go execute and figure it out. No, I'm showing you how to do it live on the program. And so that helps a lot, right? To be able to have someone walk you through and make you execute on that content live on the program call. So you are able to walk away and say, yep, I got what I need, right? So that's really, really important that you understand that. The other thing that I'll say to this is that the third thing that makes it stand out, and this is probably a big one, and I think maybe it went over your guys' heads. The fact that I said that after you're done with the program, not only do you have lifetime access to the content and the thought leadership that's updated on an annual basis, I have accountability follow-up calls. I do not know anyone in the market that completes a program course with their clients and do follow-up calls, because that puts me in a position of making sure that I taught you something and share strategy with you that actually works, right? Because if it doesn't, why would I want to follow up with you a month later, 2 months later, only for you to yell at me, right? And so I do these accountability follow-up calls to make sure that you're still staying on target, that you're not getting caught up with life, but also to give you an opportunity to share with me any challenges and roadblocks that you're experiencing in the market, right? This is where my passion for being an ongoing mentor and coach actually showcases itself, because I want to make sure that if you're hitting a roadblock after the program, because there are nuances, right? You know, certain strategies work, and then sometimes you personally might hit a roadblock because of your industry or your niche or whatever, and you need someone to guide you. And I'm there to follow up with you a month later, 2 months later, and 3 months later to give you that resource and give you that access. So those are 3 significant things, immensely significant things that make this program stand out from other offers in the market. Simply, the truest form is really my commitment and my integrity to making this experience tangible and thought-provoking and practical for you, because I don't have time to waste as a serial entrepreneur who got my own businesses to run. I know you don't have your time to waste. So I want to make sure that you are able to leverage something that's actually going to be beneficial to your career. Now, I've said this before, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to promise you the world. I cannot perform miracles. I can only give you the strategies that work. not only for me, but for previous clients. And so you got to be the one to do the work and be consistent with that. And this is where my ability to stay on you, to be accountable, will come in. But again, I'm not here trying to promise you like $1 billion in a day. I don't do that. I'm not going to try to do that. Because I want to be able to show up live every day and you are able to follow up with me and say, hey, Christine, this is what I was able to do. I want to hear some wins, some career wins from you. And that can only happen by giving you an upfront overview of what I can actually do, what I can actually offer. And then you make the decision if you're ready to take action. So with that said, this is the last call for you to be able to join this program. Okay. This is a phenomenal opportunity for many of you to be able to work with me personally. Okay. I'm going to share the link on the thread right here. Right? If you don't have the capacity to pay in full, you can reach out to the team here for a payment plan action. William or Stan will be available to connect with you. Okay. All right. I'm just typing this in. Okay. So you have everything that you need from this conversation to be able to make a decision. So just to recap, at the beginning of this call, I wanted to have, the first 15 minutes to share with you full transparency on the 5-point strategy, the 5-step strategy. That's my signature method that I bring to market, that I share with people from over 10 plus years of experience in the global speaker circuit. Sharing with you exactly what I will be teaching you behind the scenes. And then I follow up with questions and answers for why this program is the best program in the market to really help you become a globally recognized paid speaker. I have spoken at the UN, Davos, in so many different places around the world. And I will tell you, this is your chance to not only be able to accelerate your career with public speaking engagements, but create a new revenue streams, accelerate your initiatives, because public speaking gives you exposure and visibility for not only yourself, but the initiatives that matter to you. So whether that's your business, an NGO, a charity, a movement, you are creating momentum for the work that you do. And I want to welcome you to that opportunity to be able to do that. So without further ado, I do want to welcome you to the Paid Speaker Career Accelerator program. This is your opportunity to join. I look forward to seeing many of you in the program. I've already onboarded several people into the program already. The registration actually closes tomorrow at 8 p.m. So jump in live as seats fill up. And I look forward to being your mentor and coach and getting you on global stages and get paid to give your message of impact and leadership to the world. Thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you on the other side. Bye, everyone.
Christine and Tim.
Christine Sofran Nitin.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.